So I guess everybody is already familiar with the exterior design of this car, right? The profile, the window lines, the doors, how they open and all that. If you haven't driven a Mazda 6, please go to a showroom and test drive it. Especially if you are someone in the market for a big family sedan. Okay, because this one not only can haul your family in comfort, it can do some amazing stuffs, because this is easily one of the greatest handling big four-door sedans out there. Let me put it this way. The Passat handles great, but the Passat grips its way around. This guy flows. This guy flows around. It's fantastic. It has a great suspension. It has wonderful steering. Of course, this is a 2-liter, so it's not very powerful. It has 162 horsepower and 200 something Newton meters of torque. Okay, but the pairing of the engine and the transmission is perfect. The way you sit, the way the steering feels, the road holding. I wouldn't say the road holding, because it doesn't use absolute grip to bring you around. It uses absolute balance and flow to move you around bends. So, yeah, wonderful. Let's take a look at its tires. So this car comes with Bridgestone Turanzas. These are not performance tires, more comfort, bias. So these are 17-inch rims. You can see how huge the wheel well is. This is a 17-inch on this car that eventually looks like, what, 15s? Look at the wheel well, it's huge. Okay, of course this car will look really good on 19 inches. Alright, but I don't feel that I need a lot more larger contact patch or whatever, because even with these tires, I mean, they're not the grippiest tires out there, but it feels great with the pliancy and all. Okay, and the profile is just absolutely beautiful. What cars this car outhandle? I mean, it easily outhandles a Lexus ES. It easily outhandles an Audi A6, and the way it handles is actually better than the Passat. Right? The Passat is great, it's fantastic, but it doesn't do pliancy as well as this. Alright, and the Passat actually grips. This one flows. Very nice. Outhandles the E-Class. Outhandles the C-Class. Yeah, very nice. Alright, let's go inside and have a look. Oh, before that, we have tailpipes. 2 real tailpipes. Alright, let's give it a start. Now, this car doesn't come with keyless, which is something that I think that for a car that is in the D segment, it would be great to have keyless, but both of my BMW and Audis doesn't come with keyless, but those are older cars now. Okay, let's give it a start. Now, this Mazda 6 has been greatly updated. Even the previous one has already been updated with a lot more soundproofing, and this one has a brand new interior. Yes, Mazda changed their interior twice, and let me tell you this, changing interior is very costly for car makers, okay, compared to some front wheel arch or bonnet change. Okay, this new interior is so German. I feel like I'm in Germany now. It's very, very German, very straightforward, very clean design, and again, very premium car-like. Okay, leather stitch. These are real stitchings, not fake ones, and they feel so plush. You can see my fingers pushing down. Very, very plush and very nice to the touch. The materials are top-notch. In fact, this interior is way higher quality than Jaguars. Okay, and then you don't need to compare to cars like Honda Accord and all that. Okay, and look at this knob for the aircon controls. Okay, for the temperature controls, you have dual zone climate. I like the fact that because this is a real metal and it's polished at the edges and knurled patterns on here, you have the lights reflecting off this metal piece. Looks really, really nice, and it feels great to the touch. A very solid push. You don't get this kind of switchgear in cars in this segment at all. And even this CD changer is very subtle. So Mazda engineers have openly said that they are big fans of BMWs. So you can see a lot of BMW inspired design here. Clean design. Even the speedo clusters, the legibility is very high. Everything is very, very clear cut. Yes, it's a tad too simple for a car that you look at the exterior of this car, it feels like a premium car. You touch the interior, it feels like a premium car. But when you go inside the dials, it looks like your regular mass segment, CD segment kind of car. Now this one, because it's a low spec, it's a 2 liter, so this screen is actually monochrome. You can see that, right? But it's a high resolution monochrome, and it looks good. It looks like a fighter jet kind of stuff. But the higher spec ones will have a full circle in LCD, and that would be dynamic. You can show multiple information, which is exactly like Porsche. Porsche, the center dial is analog, both sides are LCDs now, and I like this approach. Pretty nice. And this screen, now in this time and age of everybody competing their screen sizes, right, I think Mazda is good that they stay on with this. This is enough. This is all you need to operate the things here, right? And it is so simple, so straightforward to operate. I do not understand why some car reviewers say it's hard to use. It just boggles me. There are only 5 options, and there is sort of like an iDrive controller here. Look at that knob, and this knob feels very high quality. It feels like something out of Bentley. These 2 knobs feels superbly high quality. So when you turn them, there's a very solid feeling to it, and you can move it like that as well. So there are multiple ways to move it, so I like it. It's multi-directional. So look up here, whatever option you want, very logical, you just press it in, right? Now when your car is on the go, you must control with the knob. Yeah, how I got my Mazda MX-5. Anyway, I can go back to home. But when it's stationary, it's actually touch sensitive. So that is very good. It gives different ways of operating it. Now the reverse camera isn't high resolution enough, and this sort of betrays its non-premium roots. You see, premium cars, they have very high resolution reverse cameras, but I'm not sure if you're able to change this reverse camera in any of the shops out there. I'm not sure, okay? But the screen is definitely high resolution, just that the output from the camera isn't. Another thing is the lines that indicate the car's reversing trajectory doesn't move together with the steering wheel, okay? This again sort of exposes that it's non-premium car roots. And another thing with this car is that it doesn't have paddle shifters, but I can tell you the shifting pattern of this car is so smart. You don't really need it. Okay, you really do not need to forcefully make a change because of the car not knowing what to do next. All right, coming here, you have a compartment here. Unfortunately, there are no wireless chargers. It's just a very nice rubberized compartment. It is long enough or wide enough for a Samsung Note 8 to put in. I tested it myself. Okay, as you come here, this rubberized, sort of rubberized, but it's actually not, but it feels that way. It's very nice to the touch, and there's some metallic satin chrome handle here. Just pull it to reveal the glass, the cup holders, and the cup holders have a cut in between so that you can put extra stuffs, and you can put stuffs a lot taller than the cup holder itself as storage, and you can put your phone on top as well. Very nice, very handy. This is something I love. This and this is one of the plushest finishing I find on any car's center console. In fact, it is so thick, so soft, that I felt that this becomes an entire extension of the armrest. You can see the armrest is here, very tiny, just a lid, but it's soft. And I found that I tend to rest my arm like that because it's thick enough, it's plush enough, and it feels really good to the touch. Okay, inside here you will find 2 USB ports, and they are the 2.1 amps, which is sort of fast charging. Not the fastest, but it's fast. The door handle here as well, very solid feeling. This is a piece of metal that has been anodized chrome, and it feels, not anodized, sorry, setting chrome. Feels really good. Okay, it feels really good. The opening and closing of the door is just exactly like how a premium car does. And I like this little touch here. Look at that, the aircon vents that sort of extends out. There is a little small compartment here, and it's rubberized. Not rubberized, it's padded inside here. Okay, look at the pedal. It's the organ type, the type that fixated itself to the footwell, not the hanging type. This again shows that this car thinks, the designers thinks like designing a premium car. Okay, I like that. And this is really thick, very soft touch, leather clad, very nice. Low spec, doesn't feel like it. Okay, let's go to the back. Now that would be my sitting position. Let's come to the back here. Now it is not the most spacious in class, but it is certainly more spacious than your Passat. It is more spacious than a lot of cars. It's just not as spacious as a Camry or Accord, but they are only marginally more spacious. Okay, now I can rest my feet underneath the front seat. Okay, and then you can see here my hair is slightly brushing the headliner. I'm 5'11", and I have about more than a palm's space in front of my knees. Okay, then as you can look at here, the armrest, very nice armrest. Inside here you have a carpeted compartment. You have USB ports, fast charging 2.1 amps, and then you have runners along the side for the cables. And then this slot here, you can nicely put your mobile phone, which is really handy. Let me show it to you. And the good thing is that it's not so deep that it goes over the midpoint of your mobile phone. What this means is that you can plug in your charger with that thing extruding out, but you can still comfortably rest your mobile phone on it, and then your cable will come out this way. Very nice, nicely designed. Okay. Yep, so that's the interior of the car.
Hi guys, a little bit a different video, I would say. A night drive of the base Mazda 6. Why the base, you would ask me? Because all the others are above 200,000 ringgit now. This is 160-ish, and this is what I would call the sensible Mazda 6 buyer's choice. Because, put everything aside, this is a D segment car that you will still use daily. And the differences between this car and its more expensive siblings are most obvious from the showroom to maybe the first month of ownership. After that, when you drive your car daily, you use it daily, just like a big D segment family car, 90% of the time this car does everything its larger siblings do, except the part that you have to take out your keys every time you get up your car, which I think at this time and age, as a D segment car, it should have keyless by default. But I'm the last person that should be complaining about this, because I only have one car that has keyless entry. My other two cars, my Audi and my BMW, both doesn't have keyless entry but has push start. Oh, the handling, the Mazda handling, the Jinba Itinus is here. From the moment you step on the throttle pedal, you would already can tell that this car is different. Everything feels so tight. Even the throttle pedal's response, when your foot goes down, the car reacts. Not just the engine reacts, but the entire car reacts. it is a joy to drive. Soundproofing is really good. This is the second time that Mazda facelifted the car. This time around, they changed the front, they changed the rear, and they give it another dashboard. So this car have had 3 dashboards. I have to admit, the previous dashboard is already something that I felt really beautiful. The first facelift that Mazda did, and this one just ups the end. It is now the most well-built D segment car in our market, and it feels the most premium when you touch and feel and look, and then you drive. This feels like a premium car, and I like the tightness of the response of the engine. This is just a 2-liter. It's not a particularly powerful engine, but look at me, I'm cruising comfortably. The car doesn't feel it's straining its power. It's nice. It's very, very nice to drive. And admit it, be it even if you buy an M5 or you buy the 2.5 Mazda 6 or you buy a 530i, 3 months down the road you'll be driving like this on our normal roads. Yep, that's how you'll be driving, cruising in a more exciting manner. And then when you drive, you just don't feel like you need anything else, because that's how you're gonna use it. Of course, from the first day you will feel that, oh, I don't get paddle shifters, I don't get this, I don't get that. Once you use it, and then every time you walk up to your car, it is a beautiful, good-looking, huge D7 car. You guys would have known that from all my videos. I'm a big fan of what Mazda is currently doing. They are punching way above their class, way above the usual competition that you're looking at. Yes, of course, at the end of the day, it is not a premium car pricing. It is not a car priced on par with the premium cars. So you will see things like a more simple speedo cluster. I think that's about it. It has automatic headlamps. The front headlamps looks beautiful. The car is wonderful to drive. The suspension, the damping rates, brilliant. Yes, you need to tekan a little bit, you need to press a little bit if you want to overtake someone who's going 140, 150 km/h. Okay, the car still moves. The gearing is fantastic. The gearing matches up to the power or lack thereof of this 2-liter engine. But everything else, the cohesiveness of the car makes you feel that you don't need that much extra power even. And the dampening of the sound of the engine, I'm pretty sure just now the engine might be screaming a little bit, but soundproofing of this car is so good now. Remember back then when Mazda soundproofing, they intentionally do not want to put that much soundproofing in it, and then of course customers, global customers, just complain and complain, and Mazda did it. Lovely steering action. A little bit vague there, but overall is fantastic. Feels very tight. Very confidence inspiring to drive. As a base 2-liter Mazda 6. Damn! It flies. It is the kind of car that is comfortable at high speeds. I mean high, I don't mean 180 to 210. But I mean 130 to 150. It feels very comfortable in that range. There are cars with 2-liter engines, and then the mapping of the gearbox isn't that good, and then you felt the car really straining all the time. You know, the moment you let go of the throttle, the car would just wanna drag itself back to pace, and then you have to press on the throttle pedal again, and then the car will start screaming just to keep you at speeds of 140 to 150. This car doesn't. This car feels at ease at this kind of speeds. Lovely car to drive. Visibility is excellent. Sitting position is fantastic. yeah, the way my legs are positioned. Okay, a little bit of understeer there just now. What are you doing? Okay. And the suspension is great. Very nice. Fantastic car to drive. And the whole cabin feels so plush. The entire center console here is layered with this thick, spongy leather that feels so comfortable for my knees, for my arms. It feels more plush than my 6 Series because everything here is soft, really nice. And then the armrest, the position of it is just wonderful. And then the extension of that, I just put my arms here and I'm cocooned in a leather pouch. So nice, so nice. The thing with a clever gearbox is that the moment you put on your brakes, it starts downshift immediately. So it might work faster than you consciously telling yourself to play with the pedals. Of course, this one doesn't have pedals, but you don't need to in this car. It is able to map. It has a very, very well calibrated, well tuned transmission. You know, I never for once, just now from low speeds to high speeds and all that, never did I once need to artificially place my foot on a throttle angle that is not my natural way of driving according to those speeds in order to make the car downshift. Never once did I need to do that. It just matches my speed beautifully every single time. Lovely. Hello, nak parking ah? Ah. Ada 3-3 ke 4-4? Boleh. Thank you, good night. Thank you. So this is really nice. Even the leather steering wheel, very, very nice. Smooth, nice stitching. The build quality of this car is excellent. It is excellent. Nice. Even the gear shifters, the aircon control. Ooh, nice. Knurled patterns, metal feel knobs. I'm so happy to see a car that by right doesn't belong in the premium segment, making an interior that beats a lot of premium cars. This is how you behave like a premium brand. Lovely, so plush, the seats are comfortable. Fantastic. Yeah, you might not have some of the fancy features of some other cars, but damn, I don't need those. Okay, the reverse camera betrays its non-premium roots. Most premium cars would give you a more high resolution reverse camera. This one is still the mass segment type. But other than this, nice. Now this one doesn't come with all the eye active sense and all that. It doesn't come with those because it is the base spec, and it is a good 30 to 40,000 ringgit different from its bigger siblings or bigger engined siblings. Okay, this thing is brilliant. It's easy to use, and overall everything looks nice. Fantastic. Yep. A brilliant night drive. Soothing, not crazy night drive. And this is the kind of car where after you leave office, you can take a longer route home and then you smile because you bought this. That's the reason why you work hard, right? You buy a nice D segment car. Your family feels comfortable behind. It's spacious and it's sporty looking. and it looks outright belongs to the you know, you can park this car next to a Lexus GS, you can park this car next to an Infiniti or an Audi and all that. It doesn't lose out in terms of design. It looks so premium. Yep. Cheers.